Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Malzy here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of me showing you a house that I did, which we will do, by the way, you guys know, if you've been watching me for any period of time, you guys know that I am all about positivity and promoting people who I find do amazing work, and that's what we're going to do today. So today we are going to tour these three houses and this one because they're all done. Like, I didn't do these. This is how I downloaded them. But I was just playing around in the sandbox, just checking out community content, and I came across these four houses, and they are stunning. Like, oh my gosh, especially this one. I'll show you this one probably second. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you this house, which is not furnished. It's very minimally furnished. It's a gorgeous home. And I think I want to do it up. And then we're going to tour this one. Now, this one I did decorate and I completed. So I'll show you before and afters. But first, we're going to start with She's a Fairy by Suppy. She's a Fairy, Suppy. She did this. Looks like this is very recent. January 17th. Or maybe that's when I downloaded it. Anyway, this is adorable. We're going to check it out. This house is so cute. Okay, so we are obviously in Coral Root Forest. But I'm going to come over here. I don't know why you spawn kind of like in the middle. But here is the property. And it's like she did... Oh, actually, it's funny, when I toured this house the first time, I actually didn't go up top. So here's the aerial view. It's like a tiny little castle. It's so cute. Wait till you see the inside. It's adorable. So she's got a little beehive here. This is what I thought was very creative. Instead of, because you can't, this is obviously a sandbox trick, but she has planted the leeks, which I think that's actually really clever. And then she's got a little candle over here with a little bit of dirt. So cute. But check this out. There's a little seating area up here with a barbecue. I can never get my vines to look good like that. Every time I try to put vines on something, it just looks terrible. Here's the front door, and here is the little living room. You can see she's actually put a sunflower through the wall, which I thought was very creative. But this is the little living quarters. Little wardrobe over here. And here is a bathroom. Look how cute this is. Adorable. Very cozy. I can never get my houses to look cozy like this. Little sleeping loft up here. Do some journaling and some reading. So cute. And then coming down this hallway, we have another little bed sleeping, like reading area. I would fall asleep right there. I'm telling you, I would fall asleep. And then coming down this way, we've got a little maybe a wet bar right there, or a little bar, and then her kitchen, fireplace, and the kitchen. It's very small, but it's very cute. I thought this was amazing. Seppi, you did a great job. I think this house is adorable. And that's it. I mean, it's a very small house, but I think it's like I could totally live here. So cute. The next property we're going to check out is Floating Fairy Escape. This is by Reneo. Not sure if I pronounced that right. So if I didn't, please forgive me. But just looking at the picture, you can see what's going on here. Wait till you see the inside of this house. It is amazing. So as you can see, it's floating, which I would have never thought of. Never in a million years I would have ever thought of that. So we've got a pond down below, which is so pretty. Like, this is gorgeous. This is probably my favorite one. And then she's literally got stepping stone stairs up to the house. Of course, if I lived here, I would fall. But look how pretty this house is. Let's do an aerial. Here's the aerial view of the house. And it's a good size. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's a good sized house. But wait till you see how she has it decorated inside. It is so pretty. I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally. I do actually need to go blow my nose. Flowers everywhere, which I think is gorgeous. I love this front porch with the built-ins. Like, I could just sit out here with some coffee and read a book or whatever. I don't read that much, but listen to music or whatever. Inside, we've got this really big foyer area. We've got a little seating area here. Look at the windows and all the light that comes through. And then we've got the living and dining and kitchen area. Living room, dining room, kitchen area. So pretty and elegant. Like, that's what I like. That's what it is. I couldn't put my finger on it when I toured this house the first time. It's just very elegant. Sorry, I have to get some coffee. A sip of my coffee. And yeah, so here's the living room, dining room area. I love the built-in. Look at the little detail right here. I love the built-in. I love the chair and the pillows. I wish you could rotate these pillows in story mode like this, but you can't. It's kind of stupid. But I love the fireplace. The only thing it's missing, in my opinion, is a TV. Here's a little bar with coffee and all the cups and the things that you would need for coffee and tea. Now she made this custom island. Oh, it's just a built-in. It's okay. It's not any cabinets. I thought it was, but it's not. You can see that it's just made with bricks, and then that's the paneling she chose, and then the topper is the marble slab, which is probably a windowsill. I bet you it is. Yeah. I love this windowsill. There's so many cool things you can do with that windowsill. Um, but I love the kitchen. It's actually really big. I would love to have a kitchen this big. My kitchen in real life is tiny and I hate it. Here we have the laundry area where she's built in the washer and dryer, all the cleaning supplies, towels, vacuum over here. I think this is, yeah, this is a bathroom. And I just love how she did this. Look, she used the Cutler shelves and then she built, like, this is probably a Jungfaru piece, the cube. And then that is so clever. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that. And then she made like a built-in. Oh, I see how she did that. She built this and then she sunk the sink down into it. You can see it. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's really cool. I like how you did that. Also, when I'm looking at other people's creations, I like to see how they did things because that's how I learn and I can incorporate things like that into my own builds. But look at this. Look at how she did the arches in the bathtub. And then there's lots of built-ins, like her bath potions, bubble baths and things. I usually use these as like alcohol, but I think she's meaning for this to be like different, like bubble baths maybe. But I love the decoration here. I think it's very pretty. I love the color scheme she chose as well in this house. I think it's really pretty. Got another like I'm tired. I just got up. Coat rack. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Brain fart right there. We'll go outside in a minute. This is her bedroom, which look at these colors. You wouldn't think they would go well together, but they do. Like, I don't know, it's like a sea green with dark like not quite burgundy, but like dark pink. And you wouldn't think they would go well together, but it does. It just works. It's so pretty. I love how she did this. Very detailed. And then she's got her bed here, the mirror over there, a little seating area with the TV here, and then this, I can't figure out what this is because it's just like a panel. It might be a Jungfaru panel. Chipboard bits and bobs, and then she put, okay. And then she put the wicker over it, rattan. We call it wicker here in the States. Okay, that's how she did that. Okay, I didn't know you could do that. And then she built in this shelf, but then you can see she put molding around it, so it looks finished. Very pretty, very clever. I love the artwork she chose. It's very pretty, beautiful artwork. And then a nice big walk-in closet. And I never think to use these boxes. I forget that we have hat boxes. I wish we had clothing that we could actually hang on here. That would be cool. But she's got some stuff hanging up over here and her shoes and her slippers. And then this is a little office, which at first I thought it was another bathroom, but it's not. It's her little office. And I think it's just so cute the way she has it. All colors, all the colors, and it's very, very cute. And then we're going to come back out here. And here is the back deck, the terrace maybe. I love, oh, I didn't notice this one. She's got the swing here with the pillows, and it's just very nicely decorated. Not overly decorated, but this, I love this. This is probably my favorite thing. So she's got this with the flowers and the butterflies. I love the color of the gazebo. And then she's got some champagne out here. So pretty. And then I know it wouldn't have thought to use the pillow like that. That's very clever. Because these chairs, I would imagine, they're adorable, but I would imagine they're not very comfortable. So the pillow would just add that little bit of comfort. Isn't this gorgeous? And look at the cherry blossom trees, the cherry trees. Oh, so pretty. Anyway, this is the floating house. Very nicely done. This house is absolutely beautiful. Never would have thought about it. Gorgeous. The next house we're going to tour is this one. Now this is, you can see that it is the Woodland Hostel from Story Mode. And in the description, I'm not even going to try to say that. Zakrillon, Zakrill, Zakrillon Konyen. I know I butchered that. I'm sorry. I get that a lot with my actual last name myself. People butcher it all the time. I apologize, but however you say your name, this is amazing. You've done a stellar job with this home, and it says in the description that they turned it into a hotel, and you can see that, and it is beautiful. It really is beautiful the way they've done it. And I will share that with you when it loads. This video is not going to be edited, so so as you can see, it's the Woodland Hostel from Story Mode. And there's a lot going on here. So coming through here, this is the entrance. You can see we've got like a bandstand here with some tables and chairs. And this is another thing, like every time I try to do like tables outside or like a dining room, I feel like I make it too crowded, but they've done it well here where it's plenty of seating, but it's not too crowded. And over here is the parking lot. I didn't even notice this car here. I did not notice that. I just saw that right now. So yeah, here is the parking lot. Look at the way that they've done the outside of the hotel. It's really pretty with the gold and the white, and then just a little bit of a metal accent right there makes it just pop, I think. It's so pretty. We've got some pastries out here, the piano. Look at this reception area. It's so pretty. See, so I did kind of this thing. Is this two of them? Is that two of those? Oh no. I did kind of something like this during Christmas with the wreaths, but I never thought to do something like that with the flowers. And see, they have it looking nice, but I feel like anytime I try to put flowers on the wall, they don't look that nice. It just looks messy and tangled. But yeah, there's a really pretty reception area here with the computer and the gold and the white. Very bright, very open, but not cold. A lot of times when you do too much white, it looks like cold and hospital-like, but that's not the case here. This beautiful hallway. We're going to go check out the other areas first. Here's like a seating area. Again, you can tell that it's a hotel, but it's not cold, even with all the white. I think one thing I would say is I think they could have added some pillows to the couches and the chairs, and I think that would have made it just a tiny bit cozier. But this is really pretty the way that it is. Don't get me wrong. I just think that pillows would have just really set it off. I love the fireplace. I love that they've kind of recessed it a little bit. Put the cats on there with the boat. That's really cute. Now this level has, I think, three like hotel rooms and a kitchen. So this is the kitchen. And look at this little serving counter. So this is an example of them working with the shape of the building. They've this built-in like serving table. So they have two tables where you could come in here and sit and have your breakfast or whatever, or make your breakfast if that's this type of hotel. I don't know. But I love the kitchen. It's very well done. It's quite large. It's missing a dishwasher though. Oh, nope, I lied. The dishwasher's right there. Sorry. Um, Kind of far away from the sink, but oh well, it's there. Um, yeah, so here's the kitchen, which I think is very, very pretty. Oh, this is a bathroom. So there's two bedrooms, like hotel rooms on this level, the kitchen behind us, and this is a little powder room for like, I guess, people who are not staying at the hotel. But it's very pretty, very well done. Again, I love the stone, and I feel like whenever I try to use stone like that, it doesn't come out as nice. Here is the first of the hotel rooms. I would imagine these are probably like the least expensive in the hotel because they're kind of small. But look how well that it's laid out. Like, um, let's. I don't like to put the hub up. I don't like to get rid of the hub because I can't see. But yeah, very pretty. Even though it's mostly white, there's little pops of color make it go just bring it together. Here's a little bathroom, and I love how they fit the whole bathroom, everything you need in this tiny little space. Very well done. The second bedroom is over here. And again, very small, but very pretty. Slightly different furniture, but not much. Little seating area, TV, and then they have their own bathroom. This one I feel like it's laid out a little bit better. But Very nice. I would love to have this room. We'll check out the grounds later. Little seating area under the stairs. Here is the first of the upstairs bedrooms. This is a suite. Here is their bathroom. Again, laid out very well. I feel like that bathtub is backwards though. Let's see if we can turn it around. There. There. Sorry, I had to do that. It was driving me nuts. But very pretty. Beautiful bathroom. And here is like the first seating area. And then you come over here and here's like the main bedroom and this little suite. It's got its own private little balcony out here. Very well laid out. I like how they did this a lot. It's very pretty. I just noticed too when I was going through this property that these beds have drawers underneath them. I didn't notice that before. And then here is the second of the two suites. This one's, well, I guess this isn't really a suite. It's just another hotel room. Again, it has a balcony out here. Not very private, but it is a balcony. You can look out over the front. And then this is like their bathroom. See how she angled the tub, or they angled the tub so that it fits with the door? I think that was really smart. Very well laid out bathroom. Very pretty. And then here is the final room on this level. This one has some built-in desks. Again, using what you got to work with, the angle of the roof with the space. I think this is very clever. I love how they did this with the little desks. And again, a private balcony. And very nicely laid out room. And the bathroom. Oh, I was like, where's the toilet? It's behind. It's right there. And then again, working with the angle, you can see that they did a couple of blocks to hold the toilet paper. Very clever. Like it. I love it. It's really pretty. That is it for this level. And then this is the final level. I would imagine this would be like the penthouse suite. Now, I don't know if this is meant to be part of this room up here or if this is like a public area. I'm not sure, because if it were me, I think I would have like blocked this off somehow to make this all private area, but I don't know if that was the intention. So this again has another balcony, or way up here. You can get a glimpse of the back part of the property, which we'll take a tour of that in a minute. But I just love how this is done. Like they're playing a game of whatever this game is called. I forget, Beetles and Dungeons or something. Dungeons and Beetles or something. But here is the room. It's very pretty, very well laid out. Got a hanging area for, or like a area to hang your coats and put your luggage. Oh, I didn't notice the vacuum. That's so cute. Yeah, a seating area, a bed, and then their bathroom is quite large. It's the largest, I think, of all the bathrooms in the whole hotel. But you can see they used, I think this is a Brooks counter, a Brooks cabinet with I forget what the sink is, but I think that's really nice. I saw another one where they used all kitchen cabinets in the bathroom, and it just really looked cool the way they did it. It was another house that I toured. I did quite a few house tours, and some of them were meant to be jobs and some of them were not. But these were just, the ones that we're touring right now were, this is how they came. I didn't do a thing to them except for turn that one bathtub around, which you already just saw. So that is a tour of all of the hotel rooms here in this hostel. Check out this backyard. It is stunning. So pretty. Absolutely beautiful. We've got what looks like a coffee alcohol bar over here. maybe a smoothie bar. You can probably get any kind of drink you want, whether it's coffee or a smoothie or something a little bit more adult. We've got some lounge chairs right here with the world map. Now this is something interesting. They did the world map in that green marble, which I think it looks really cool. It totally fits the theme here. Love the bar. We've got a gazebo over here with a seating area. We've got a little more seating over here, a little fountain with a pond, another pond over here. It's very English garden. You know what I mean? Very, very English garden. And okay, I don't know if you can see it, but you can put these pieces into the pools and they do work. They do work. So you can make your pools look more like a pond with more rounded edges, like she's done here. So the arches do work inside the pools. I'll show you that in a little bit, but this is a beautiful, like, English garden. And then the path just goes all the way around. There's a beautiful fountain over here with the flowers. And again, over here, there's another a seating area with a TV. I didn't even see the TV when I toured this the last time. But yeah, a little outdoor seating area with the TV with snacks and drinks and things. And then over here is a barbecue campfire area where you can sit and eat your food. I saw one, and I don't know where it is, where they smashed a fire pit under there. That square one. I'll show you. Where's the fire pits? I think it's under here. This one right here. It fits perfectly under. I mean, you have to use the move tool to get it in there, but somebody did that, and it worked out really cool. That was another property that I saw. But they've got a nice they've got a really nice sitting area with a campfire, barbecue area. And then here is the swimming pool for here. You got layout area, lots of areas to sit. The first aid kit right here. Another area where you could, like, make a drink or have smoothies or whatever, a couple showers. And then over here is a little playground for the littles, for the kiddos. And then this I thought was really cool. The way she did this was they put just like a bunch of pillows in here. So, and then the cute little tables. So the kids could come in here and read or play or whatever. So nice little playground area over here for the kiddos. Looks like they didn't quite finish this, but that's okay. We're not gonna say anything about that. But yeah, here is the Woodland Hostel turned into an actual hotel. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Well done. And then the final finished property I wanted to show you was the Aspen Chalet by 7x7 Claudia. This is really, really pretty, the way that they've done this. And I don't know why you spawn like into the floor, so forgive me for a minute while we come out front. Here is the front of the home. We have to fly. I don't know why you spawn like in the middle of the floor. But here is the home. Look how pretty that is. I love the tall stone part with the windows. That's so gorgeous. Now, here is the front entrance, and it took me a minute to realize that this was meant to be the front entrance, But we have a lot going on out here, but I actually love this. This is my dream to someday have a patio or a porch or a terrace where I can have all of these things. I want to have an outdoor kitchen with seating and a couch to be comfortable. I would put a TV out here, but that's just me. But I love this. And you can see they're cooking some hot dogs and burgers and a pizza. And then coming inside, it's very open. Look how pretty. It's not overly decorated, but it's also warm and cozy and inviting, which I really, really love. Sunken living room, which I know I think these might be making a comeback. I love the little detail with the candles right here and the vases and the built-in. The modern fireplace, and even though it's brick, it's not like cold. It's very, very warm, I think, and very pretty. That would cost a lot of money to do these days, especially if you did it here in California. That would be expensive. And I'm also not one for beams going down like this, but in this case, I think it was very well done, and it's not like in the way. So I think it's very pretty. It keeps it like open. So dining room, kitchen, very nice kitchen. And here's something else. Like I like how they did the open part right here, and they put like fruits and things and a stool under there. Very, very nicely well done. Um, and then I was gonna say, where's the refrigerator? But there it is. Lots and lots of cabinet space, lots and lots of counter space, and I love this built-in bar. It's so simple, but it just works very well. And I love that they did it in this like the granite, the gray granite. So it's totally different from anything else going on in the house, but it still fits. I mean, it matches the countertop, but it still fits. And I like the mixing of the different finishes. Very, very nice. Here is a little office. And even though they use this old beat up rug, it works. I like the color they chose, and I like the way that she did the wood and the different wood tones. Very nice. You're going to see in the tour that I do of the house set, of our house in a few minutes. I used all oak. Oak is everywhere. Here is a bedroom, which I'm guessing is supposed to be like a guest bedroom because it has its own like little private patio out here, deck. And I thought it was the front of the house until I walked in the door and I was like, "Oh, it's a bedroom." But I love the arch over the bed. I'm going to start doing that more. I'm trying to get more creative with like how I do things and just doing like decorative pieces like that. I think that looks really pretty. And I like the way that she did the wardrobes with the desk in the middle or the dresser in the middle with a little makeup area and all of that. So that is very nice. Here is a bathroom. It's simple, but it's very nice, very nicely done. Again, the different patterns. I like mixing patterns. I don't know what that noise is, sorry. Here is the entrance to the backyard, which we'll take a tour of in a minute. But here's like little mud room and oh, this is okay. So this makes sense. So you come out the garage and then this is where the family, I guess, would enter mostly. And then here's just like a storage room. It's laundry room, but it's also storage. It's a cool laundry room. I like the built-ins. Oh, I didn't see that. What does it say? Call mom. Make sure you call your mom. Tell her that she's beautiful and that you hope she's having a good day. Moms like to hear that. A little storage closet here. All right, let's head upstairs. Upstairs, you can see the view from the top. You can see down into the living room. Very pretty. This is the master suite, and I love this. Okay. Of course, this is not something you could really do. Well, no, you could do this in story mode. I also, when I'm touring sandbox houses, another thing I like to do is just like decode how they did things and then see if you could actually do that in story mode because we don't have all the cool sandbox tools. This you could because you can see this is a triangle piece that they have. Now you can't put a picture on it if you were in the story mode. You can't do that. But this is why we have sandbox. But but I do like the angled bed and the fireplace. It just makes it super cozy. I think I would have put a TV up there, but that's just me. Um, but again, I like all the different textures, and I like that they didn't wallpaper the whole thing, but it's like an accent wall. Very, very pretty. Nice, huge walk-in closet. And then a very nice large bathroom with a separate shower. And I love how she did the built-ins. Look how pretty that is. It's like perfect. Very nice. Very, very nice. And over here is like, I'm guessing a girl's bedroom. See, like this. Like they took this bed and then they put a dresser behind it with the TV, and she's got a little ottoman, and then she's got like her her storage with her desk, and then her wardrobe right there, which I think is very pretty. And then there's a little balcony out here. You can watch the neighbors. But yeah, very nice. We gotta hurry. I'm almost out of time. Um, and then a really cool bathroom. I love the colors that they chose. Very pretty. Kid friendly, but not too fancy. And then over here is the like the boys' bedroom, which again, it's quite a bit different, but similar. He's got his desk over here, storage, TV, um, bed, and then a private balcony. Now, since we're kind of running out of time, we're gonna do this quickly. Of course, here's the garage. I think they put a car in it. Yeah, they did. There's nothing fancy about the garage. It's just a garage, a place to store your car. Got some wood underneath the deck. A kind of a distressed looking playhouse, but I like it. I didn't know you could put wood on there, which I think is nice. Toy box or sandbox, above ground pool, which I don't use these anymore now that we have the built-in pools. Soccer area and um, seating, a swing, and then this little garden shed. I don't know if this would be a she shed because we've got like coffee. I don't know. It's really pretty. I love this. But that is it for the Aspen Chalet. Now, one more house I want to show you is going to be a before and after. So we're going to do the before tour. It's this one. Now, in the description, this is by Levi. Now, in the description, it says the typical 90s house layout. That's what the description was. And it came with no furnishings. So here is what it looks like when you download it. So you can see they've got like the house marker here. I love the garden out front and the stone. Very, very pretty. We'll take a quick walk around the back. There's nothing in the backyard. It's literally just this. That's it. But this is a very large property. So keep in mind that they've done it with all white. And so here's the front door. And this is a closet. A really nice kitchen. Laundry room. This goes into the garage. I'm going to do this quickly because I'm running out of time. But, you know, fridge there. Again, sunken living room. And I love these built-ins around the fireplace. Here is the master bedroom with a walk-in closet and a really kind of cool bathroom. Very cool bathroom. And then here is another bathroom. Nothing fancy, just a bathroom. And then another bedroom. And so that is the layout. I actually really like it a lot. And so there's the before. Here is the after. This is what I've done to it. Come on, hurry up and load. So, okay. So here is what I've done to it. And I'll show you what that is in a minute. As you can see, I've added a lot to it. I changed all the wood to oak because I figure in the 90s that was the wood color of choice. But I think it looks really nice though. And if I had more time, I would go into details. But look, there's molding everywhere and it really makes the house look finished. And then what they did was, this is basically, they did a cutout here. They put the molding around it and then they used the Jungfaru window inside. So, and I put the two cars out here. I changed out the front door because I just think it looks a little bit cooler in my opinion. But yeah, I changed out the front door. This one doesn't quite open all the way, but I kept the same color green they had, but I changed it to wallpaper because I think it makes it look more inviting, not so stark. But yeah, here is the hall closet. With I added the fan and the vacuum, and you can hang your coats in there. I made the ceilings. I think I kept the ceilings the same. I don't think I changed them. But I did change all the molding. It was all white, so I changed it all to oak, and it just really warmed it up. I rearranged the kitchen a little bit. Okay, a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I added the oven here. I added a bigger stove. These, and I tried not to use too many sandbox tricks. Now, of course, getting the cooking utensils inside that vase, that's totally a sandbox trick. But I tried not to too much because, again, if I was going to build a house like this in story mode, you're not able to do that. But I put the coffee pot in here. I forget what the color of the stone was, but I went with the same. It's like warm green, drab warm green 3, and it looks really nice. And I have to turn this on. Whoops. Lots of light, because when I'm cooking, I want to see what I'm doing. But yeah, I love how this kitchen turned out. The cabinets are all the same. I moved a few of them around a little bit, but I didn't touch the top. Well, I did over here. This is the major change. I added more cooking and I added the oven over here. And the one thing this house didn't have, here's the fridge, and I added some storage here. The one thing this house did not have was a pantry, so I added one. And so we've got a pantry that's fully stocked. And I didn't really care for the way they had the washer and dryer stacked, so I unstacked them. And I built in this, which I think came out really, really nice. And then, of course, for the ironing board, you can't hang it on the wall, which I think is kind of stupid. They should have done that. Here's the garage. So we borrowed a little bit of real estate from the garage for the pantry, but got some shelving here. Your safety stuff, first aid kit, and fire extinguisher. And I built this as if my husband was going to use it. And we are huge fans of the Terrifier and Art the Clown. And so I put this here. And I actually met Art the Clown and I lived to tell about it. I have a picture with him signed. It's awesome. In full costume. But I designed this as if it was going to be my husband's space. I actually asked him what if he could have what the garage that he would want, his garage, and he could have it any color. And I thought he would pick blue because that's his favorite color, but he didn't. He said either white or gray because you need it to reflect the light. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's why it's white. But like all the tools, and he loves flashlights, so we put lots of flashlights in here. And so yeah, this is hubby's domain here. Let's go this way. Now here is what I've done to the living room. And as you can see, I used the wall space to put just family photos because I wanted it to be like a family lived here. And so I went with the green theme as my inspiration. I turned this wall into the oak paneling. And then I did, okay, the fireplace I didn't really do much to. That was already there. But I did change out I don't think it had a mantle, or if it did, it was really small. And so I made it bigger so that it would be the focal point of the room. And then of course I changed everything to oak. And then I added the curtains here. Now this, of course, you do have to use the sandbox tools for. You couldn't do this in story mode. But what they did, it took me a minute to figure out what they did was they used wall well. Oh, these are hanging cabinets. So she flipped them upside down. And oh, and I believe the flooring in here was carpet. But so yeah, it looks like they used hanging cabinets, and then there's a molding piece underneath, and then a windowsill on top, that Warwick windowsill. And I love the built-ins. I think they came out really pretty. I would love to do this. And then of course I added more molding around the steps. That wasn't there. I added that. Oh, the floor wasn't carpeted. It was a darker wood, but I changed it all to oak and it really lightened it up. And I went with a light green couch, super comfy. And then we've got the dining room here and a bar here. See, I use these bottles as different types of alcohol because like when you go into like Bevmo, there's the liquor bottles are actually really cool. Like I would buy the alcohol just to keep the bottle. Like hubby could drink the liquor. I would keep the bottle because it's cool. Especially tequila. Tequila comes in the prettiest bottles. Oh my gosh. Like the fancier ones. But here's a little breakfast bar. I added a phone because back in the 90s everybody had a wall phone in the kitchen. So this bathroom, I didn't change really much. I just changed the wood and I added the light and the towels, and that's pretty much it. I added this this cabinet right here. And then here is the master bedroom, which I think it's really nice. It's very bright and bold. And here is the closet. Oh my God, look at that. What the hell? Let's fix that real quick. There we go. Okay, closet. Now here's the bathroom. And I sort of left it alone, but I actually did make quite a few changes. I changed out the storage, the shelf. And instead of having a bathtub, I put in a small swimming pool. So this white right here, this is actually the edge of the pool. And then as you can see, like I told you in the last property, you can use these rounded pieces and they work. There's even one on the bottom to make the bottom of the bathtub round. But I wanted this to be like a spa-like bathroom. So I added, this is a Warwick windowsill. I love it because it's resizable. And then to get, this is a shower that of course, I use the move tool to recess it into the wall. And it does stick out in the backyard, but I hid it with some plants. And then, of course, to put the roses in the water, you have to use the move tool. But other than that, this is all doable in story mode. In fact, you can do this. If you do it like this, you could do it like that as well. So if you were in story mode, you could actually build. You can see I'm not using the move tool at all, and it actually goes down quite far. And so you could do this. You could recreate this in story mode if you wanted to. It's actually very doable. Now the sinks, I did have to like smash them together, so that doesn't quite fit because I believe in the first version, oh no, it was a different sink and I didn't like it. So, but yeah. And then this also is doable in story mode because these actually went really, it's going to make a liar out of me. This is meant to simulate that these slide open so you can get in there. And I added 2 showers because that's my dream. I would love to have a bathroom with 2 showers. And this is the new Santa Claus outfit, but I turned it into bathrobes. And of course, they don't hang on the hooks, which they missed a really cool opportunity there. But, of course, I had to use the move tool to get them to hang on there. So here's the master suite. And then this room, I wanted to be an office because I figure if hubby and I were living here, I would want an office where we both have our gaming rigs. Right now, our gaming rigs are in the living room, which isn't really ideal, but that's where we have a space to put them. But I also wanted a space for guests. And so this is a feature wall, but what I've done is I've smashed that bed in there. So it's meant to simulate a Murphy bed. So this, in my way of thinking, this would actually, you could move the chairs, this would fold down, and then this would then become a guest bedroom. And it also has a walk-in closet, but because it's not meant to be an all-the-time bedroom, I put extra blankets and pillows in there. Now, in story mode, obviously you can't take this bed and put it on the wall. You can't do that. It's not going to work. But you can take this pillow right here. Whoops, what am I doing? What you could do is take this one and make it the size of a bed and then put this on the wall and then put extra pillows in the closet like I did. And then this right here is a Jungfaru cube that I have made into a panel, and I've put the oak all the way around it. Now, you would not be able to put a picture on it like I did here, but if you made this like the feature of the room, like a focal point, you wouldn't really need a picture. But that's how you could do a simulated Murphy bed in story mode. But yeah, I think this came out super cool. I really like how this came out. Because this doesn't look like it doesn't belong in here. That's the other thing. I didn't want it to look like it's just a weird thing placed in the room. I wanted it to look like it belonged here. So, and I think it does. So this is the inside of the whole house. Now outside, first of all, let's go outside this way, outside the front door. This brings us to kind of the sponsor of this video. This is a little office, and this video is sponsored by Real Food Reset Nutrition Coaching. My friend is a nutrition coach, and she has started a business, and she has called it Real Food Reset. And it's here to help you guys if you're interested in like cleaning up your diet, getting your blood sugar under control, reducing the inflammation in your body, just feeling better, or just if you just want to learn how to make healthier choices when you eat, that's what we're here for. And also the USDA or the USDA has released, well, not the USDA, but they've released the new USDA guidelines for nutrition. And so we can help you also weed through that nonsense. But the point of the whole guidelines, the new guidelines, is super simple. Eat real food. It's literally that easy. Eat real food. Stop eating processed crap and put real food in your body. But in my perfect world, I would have a separate little office. My husband has built me, not in real life, but here. My husband has built me this little office to run my business out of. I can meet with my clients. I've got a microphone and a camera so that I can do my YouTube videos. I've got a little kitchenette here with some coffee over here. This is from Pixabay. And a little tiny bathroom. But yeah, a nice little office. I think this is really cute. But yeah, so back to the sponsor, Real Food Reset Nutrition Coaching. Check us out on the web. The website is www.realfoodresetnc.com. And check us out. I would love to hear from you guys. We would love to hear from you guys. So yeah, if you're interested. Now, I've made the backyard a fun zone. We've added a pool. I made the fence go all the way around the property. I really have to go. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for work. Again, I just said in the last couple of videos, I think with the Aspen house, I would love to have a patio where I could have an outdoor kitchen, a table to eat. We've got the fire pit here. I love how I did this. This is cool. I took the fire pit and I sunk it into that table. So that's how I did that. Got the swimming pool, but of course, if we're having kids over, we don't want kids to drown in the pool, so this is only accessible by adults, but we've got all the pool toys. And of course, yes, I had to use the move tool to get them on the fence because you can't put them on the fence. You can put them on a wall, but you can't put them on a fence. But yeah, the slide, we've got the sun chairs over there. That's the pool controls over there, the pump and all that. And then over here, we've got, again, the seating area, and then the playground for the littles, and then a soccer area. So that is how I did the 90s home, which I think it came out great. The siding was already like this. I left that alone. I did add the stone to the bottom. And so the shower, you can see how I told you it's stuck through the wall, so I hit it with this, but now I changed it, so now it's not sticking through the wall anymore. But I love how I did this house. I think it came out so pretty. The only thing I wish I could do would be to sell it. But you can't because we're in the sandbox. Anyway, love it. I gotta go, friends. I love you guys. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.